Well, wonderful Wednesday, everyone. It's me back to back again. Because yeah, I told you this is going to be a super special edition of Phases of Resilience, because this is going to be a marathon type of interview where we are going to interview amazing entrepreneurs that we actually connected through the Top Talent JV network as well. But this one is very different. My next guest is super, super special because we're actually kind of like sisters already, because we started to get to know each other from frontier trainings, and we spent many, many days, in classroom learning so many different skills. And after we bonded so well, we also connected in a whole different level, with a team referral network through Terry Lee Harrison. And we continue to just really kind of like weave into each other's lives now with Top Talent JV with David Fagan and Isabel Fagan. And I could not be more thrilled to introduce to you somebody who is near and dear to my heart, because there is no simple way to introduce this woman. Okay. Once I get to let her share her story, you will see that she has gone through many life reinventions, big stories of resilience when it comes to being an entrepreneur, and how she is going to tell you about how money drama and how money mapping can actually change the trajectory of your life and of your business. So welcome to Faces of Resilience, my dear friend, the beautiful Chella Diaz.
It's an honor to be here. I'm so glad. I just love it when things just work out, We've been in and out of each other's lives for so long, but every time we connect, magic happens.
Exactly. There's always something magical that happens, because because you get me, I get you, and we totally just support each other so we can all win in life. By the way, that color looks so beautiful on you. You said you were doing a video earlier, right?
Correct. I did a couple of videos and I wanted to put a little splash of color. I didn't want to look like the same. So this is one of the colors that I chose to use. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Is that color meaningful for you? What does it mean?
I like the way I feel in it. You know what I mean? I just think that it just brings out, I see in the color, it just puts a smile on my face. So then I was like, that's a good start. I can work with that.
Yeah. Of course. Like, it makes the world like rosy. Yeah, that's what it is to
Yep.
me when I look at you, because it just basically like you look like you're blooming. That's absolutely awesome. But there was something that was really quite interesting that you were sharing with me, of how your career kind of started. So just give me kind of like a short version of your life and career transitions.
That's it. Yeah. And then we will make it short because we want to be able to give your audience something they can really take and then start to use. So I was in corporate for many, many years. I was a
Mhm.
real estate underwriter. And I was the person that either said yes to your mortgage loan or no. Right. So I was sometimes very popular and sometimes not so popular. But then when the company was closed, I knew that that's not what I wanted to continue to do. You know what I mean? I knew there was something bigger and better. So I thought, oh, I have $1 million idea. I should go teach financial literacy to high school students. And I still think it's a great idea. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
It was
actually, I wish we had financial literacy in high school, because I'm sure many of us would think very differently about money.
right.
So go ahead.
But that was not the $1 million idea. But as I was doing workshops for high school students, then I was invited to do the workshops for women and women's groups.
Okay.
And so that's when it all began. But then it was really interesting that I began to see the connection of the money drama that we experience as children to how it impacts our current financial picture.
Tell me more about that.
So I'm going to share mine. So for me, I grew up in a household where my dad was a baker, my mom was a housewife, and it was about you have to work hard for your money, right? So that was ingrained in me. That was something that I lived with. So when I first got my first paying speaking gig, my whole body, my whole system, my whole world crumbled, right? Because how is sitting in an audience speaking and sharing what my knowledge and my wisdom, how is that working hard? So it went against what my belief was. So, you know, whether it's you have to work hard or we can't afford it or whatever, it was that money belief that we grew up with. It's about becoming aware of it. And now that you're becoming aware, okay, that's what I heard as a child. Now, the second part is how had that belief, story, drama, how has it impacted what you currently do? And this is where the magic begins, because I encourage, if you're watching this, just think about, okay, as a child, I heard that. What am I doing now today? Like, where are you putting on the brakes when it comes to your business, when it comes to spending money, when it comes to investing money, right? There's one area that's going to be affected by what we hear as children. But once you become aware,
for each and every single bucket that you have shared.
right. But once you become aware of it, then you're able to do something differently with it.
So can you just give an example? Because that was quite interesting what you just shared about where you put the money, where you spend it, you know, how you receive it. Can you explore a little bit about our relationship with money?
And that's key. It's how, that's key. That is the $10,000 question. How do you talk to money? How do you treat money? Right? Think of money as that very close friend that you are always ready to spend time with and are always delighted to see. So when you get ready, I'm going to give you, right? I'm going to give you an example. When you get ready to pay your obligations, your phone bill, your mortgage, or whatever, are you grateful that you have the money to be able to pay that? Or are you like, oh, another bill, when are they going to go, right? How are you feeling about money? Because the more you feel,
I think for the most part, people would say that, oh, you know, like they think of it as loss rather than, you reframed it very beautifully when you say like, I'm glad that I have the money to be able to pay these bills. Wow.
I am so grateful. I am so grateful to have the funds to meet this obligation. It applies to everything, right? So it's that feeling. And even when change, like if you carry around change, you know, I once got into a car with somebody. We were going to share a ride, and she had money all over the car. I have money in the ashtray. I do have that, right? But it's nice, neat. But she had money all over the place. She had dollars, she had coins, just everywhere. Like if you have a friend and they're treating you like that, would you come back? If you're telling money you're not enough, are you you know, I mean, like think of money as an actual person that you're having a relationship with. How are you treating it?
You know, help me understand this. Like you're saying that this friend of yours have money everywhere in the car. Are you saying it's a bad thing? Because
well, it's a bad thing when you have it all over the floor and you're not taking care of money. She was not taking care of money. She was just, when she got change, she threw it into the car. That's what I'm talking about. And she had dollar bills, she had coins. I'm not talking about, you have to have respect. In my opinion, you need to have respect for money, right? You need to have, you know, the change purse. And I'm going to be a total geek here. So I have 3 change purses, right? So this is my quarter. I keep my quarters here. I have one for my dimes. And I have what, right? So it's how are you treating it? Are you respecting it, or are you just tossing it? And with this particular person, she did have some money blocks, right? But once it is about shifting it, I am so proud of my dime. And this is right. I honor my money. I have a place for it. Right? I don't just come in and toss it. So that's the difference, in my opinion.
No, it's actually quite different the way you're treating the money, because I mean, I do have most people have coin purses, but not separated by currency, you know? Did I say that, Carrie? Or by denomination, right?
Yeah. But you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm a little bit nutty, right? But I just like this little guy. And so I know that this is my dimes and nickels, and then my quarters, it's a little bit bigger. So, but it's how are you treating money, right? Are you honoring money? Are you welcoming money? And let's help your audience. So let's say that in the past, maybe you weren't so nice to money. Write a letter to money. Write a love letter to money, inviting it back into your life.
Wow.
That's key, right? It's that intention that you're setting for yourself and for money, to attract money. So that's the first thing, is because that's going to help you, the awareness of how are you treating money and what can you do differently.
Now, how is that different when people say, like, okay, declare to the universe, you welcome abundance, blessings? Is it the same thing as when you write a letter to money?
It's both, right? Because when you do that, this is another one. So I say, I find money everywhere I go. Every time I go to the grocery store, I find money. I do. So far, the largest amount I found at the grocery store or on my way to the grocery store is $23.
Wow.
Right? I always find money. Are you grateful when you find a penny as grateful as when you find $50? To me, there is no difference. I am grateful for the penny just as much as I'm grateful for the $200. So you're saying to the universe, I'm open to receiving abundance. The universe sends you a nickel or a dime or a penny. You're like, oh, I'm not going to pick that up. That's not enough. Right? So that's a mixed message.
Exactly.
So pick up that penny or whatever that is. Right?
I always pick up pennies or even the nickels, because they say that it usually is a sign of an angel, giving you whatever it may be. Like it's some kind of a spiritual meaning that somebody has come to visit.
Absolutely. Right. So it's just about being grateful. And sometimes, I give money, like absolutely. You give and you receive, right? So you receive and then you give. It's fine, but it's being grateful that you found that penny or the dime or the quarter or whatever the amount is, or that somebody gifted you a lunch, right? I think there's a lot of things that are being gifted to us that we don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
If you find money at a meter, that's a gift, because that means you don't have to put money into the meter, right? Just being aware of all of the things and they're showing up in your life. Some of them are money and some of them is simply, a lunch, a sale. It's just about becoming aware of all of the abundance around you. I can talk about this for hours, but no, write a letter to money. And
about our awareness of the blessings, however little it may seem, for us to be grateful for that blessing that we have in our lives. How does that translate to abundance overflowing our way?
Yeah, because when you tell the universe you invited money in and then you're grateful for whatever you receive, you're grateful that you have the funds to meet your obligations, guess what? The universe is just going to keep sending more of that, right? It's that energy, is that feeling. They're like, oh, well, and it just keeps flowing because now you're in the flow. And that's what people talk about. When you're in the flow, things just keep showing up.
Now you said about money drama. Okay, how would you say those people need to be able to overcome that? Like, there are so many people deeply ingrained with money drama.
Yeah, we take it one thing at a time. However, whatever money, if your parents told you that we can't afford it, then we do work with that one. Later on in life, when you were a teenager, if somebody, whatever the case may be, sometimes it's related to money, Pearlie, but sometimes it's not really about the money. It's somebody maybe criticized you for the clothes you were wearing, or they criticize you for your hair, right? That all goes into the same bucket, which later on turns into we don't believe in ourselves, so we don't charge our worth. So sometimes it's about money, but sometimes it's just, some little kid made fun of the dress or your hair, whatever the case may be, right? It's about, what is that?
I have a question that's more related to entrepreneurs, right? Like, oftentimes there's people like us who are very giving, and we feel funny oftentimes to ask for what we're worth, the value. What would you say to people like us?
I would say that we need to find out what is the money drama, because there's a tide, right? There's something that happened into your childhood. And when you identify what that is, get together with a phenomenal coach that's going to help you see that there's 3 sides to each story, right? You only see, but also for the audience, if you do have several things and you had adults that, whatever the case may have been, think of it as they were giving you a gift. Whatever their limiting beliefs were, however they treated you, whatever the case may be, think of it as a gift. They were gifting you something. Just because they were gifting it to you, that doesn't mean you have to take it. You know what I mean? It's that ugly sweater. Just because somebody's giving you an ugly sweater, that does not mean you have to wear it.
Oh, that's a very good example. Okay.
Because some of this they were just gifts. So you can, it is, I give you permission to give them back. If they do not serve you, if they're holding you back, because you're not charging your value, you're not increasing your price, identify what that was, the money drama, and then just give it back. Write a letter. I now here release and let go of all that no longer serves me around this money drama, and move on. I know that may sound silly. I know that may sound a little woo-woo, but if I was able to share how many people have done it, I think the record time has been 2 hours. After they finished doing the letter, they received money within 2 hours.
Now tell me something about this money mapping, because at some point I would love to tie it together for entrepreneurs to understand how breaking through the money drama and also creating a money map would be able to lead them to abundance and also success in their business.
Absolutely. We're going to do that one of these days. So after you let go of the money drama, is creating a money journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Creating a money journey so that you always have sufficient money to do the things that are important to you. It comes to choice, right? Some people may choose to go on vacations. Some people may choose to spend time with their family, right? It's a choice. It's about not keeping up with the Jones, right? I personally would rather spend with my family. Well, it'll be ideal if we were on vacation, but right now we can't do that anyways. So, it's choices. It's choices. Some people rather have the car. Other people, it's a choice. It's not about comparing each other, because everybody wants something different. And success and abundance looks different for every single one of us. So it's not, measuring yourself up against somebody else, because you don't know what they truly want. What is it what drives them, right? So sometimes I think we do the comparison thing, but we don't really know the whole story.
Exactly. So for the money drama, from what I'm hearing from you, is basically these are beliefs that were given to us, handed down to us. And of course, now we are almost forced to take it because it was kind of ingrained to us. But of course, we don't have to receive it, because we can change our beliefs so that it can begin to bring us to a new money journey, what you're talking about right now. Okay.
She's got it, folks. She's got it.
Okay. And in the money journey, what steps do people have to take? Okay. It's about making choices. Now, what 3 easy steps that you can share that people can apply a little bit more easily right now? I'm sure everybody would want to work with you as a coach to get them breaking through, eradicating what does not serve them anymore. But in a money journey, give us 3 steps that we could take right now to be able to begin to create a roadmap to our success.
Keep track. Anytime you invest more than $1, write it down. You can write it down on an Excel sheet, on the Google Drive, on the phone, it doesn't matter. Keep track of where your money is going. You're going to do that for 7 days. At the end of the 7 days, you're going to take that list, you're going to divide it. How much went for needs? How much went for wants? Magic. Every single person that has done this, and I've been teaching this for over 10 years, has found that we want to know exactly where your money is going, because that's going to give you the opportunity to make a different choice. You're going to do that for 4 weeks, but do it 1 week at a time. Do that for 4 weeks, because that's going to find the money leaks. Crucial. Step one, that's step one. Step two, now that you know, so that's going to take you 4 weeks. Now that you know, you can find me on Facebook. So I'd love to hear what this went for you. Now that you know, this is my monthly obligations. This is how much I'm putting into wants, the movies, the going out, whatever that may be, the concerts for me. Now that you know that, then you can create. Step two is to create 3 buckets: your wants buckets, your needs bucket, and my favorite, create your possibility bucket.
Oh, I love that.
Which is my step 3. In your possibility bucket, you're going to put in, I want to have 6 months worth of my monthly obligations in there. I want to have money in there to replace my tires. I want to have money in there to go on a vacation. I want to have money in there to go and do short-term investments. I want to have money in there to do long-term investments, right? The possibility account is endless because you can put in there whatever it is that you want. Now you say, okay, so where's it?
Like, I see that on a personal level, right? Yeah. What would you tell entrepreneurs, especially going through a pandemic right now? How would you advise them to do the 3 different buckets right now? Because I don't know if the needs are different, the needs and the wants are different and possibilities because of the pandemic. But what would you say would help them go through this really challenging phase that we're going through right now?
Perfect question. That is $100,000 question right there. So now that you know,
$10,000 to $100,000.
We're going to be giving, but now that you know what it is that you need to meet your obligations, then you can start figuring out, okay, so that's my obligations, that's my minimum. How many clients do I need to enroll to meet that? So then the conversations are different, right? Because then you begin to think, okay, you know what? I need 5 clients. I need to enroll 5 people. Great. So where can you go? What networking events can you hang out where it's going to give you the opportunity to share what you do and attract those clients? So it becomes a numbers game.
Because I love that. Basically, the key word that you're saying is you gotta track your numbers. Without tracking, there's no way of you being able to know where the money is going, where it could go, or where it has gone, right? So that's really that's very powerful, tracking it and being able to create your possibility and then make decisions that would be able to meet those possibilities.
Right.
I love that. Okay, you had mentioned something about networking. So I'd like to use that to segue because, this is in collaboration with Top Talent Joint Venture, JV, by David Fagan and Isabel Fagan, who I love very, very much because they bring together people like you and us and, and 2 other people that I have actually interviewed today and many, many more who are passionate, purpose-driven, and really very, very committed to lifting other people up. I would like for you to share in your own words why people would need to go to the Top Talent JV event. Next week, there's one coming up. It's from August 16th to the 18th. And, some people attend the 3 days. You'll get most value from that. Or you can attend 1 or 2 days. You've attended several of them. Why do you keep coming back? I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. One, I've attended his live events. So Dave, I go back with, he'll say 10 years, but we'll say 10 years. So I used to attend his in-person events, right? So one, and then in 2020, I was attending 20 networking events a month. That's a lot of networking. But I wanted to see what was out there, right? I wanted to see how compare. This year, 2021, I only am attending five networking events, right?
Are these virtual or live?
Those are all virtual.
You were attending 20 virtual meetings practically, oh wow. And now you're down to 5.
Now I'm down to 5.
Okay. How were you able to make the selection to 5?
That is a good question. And that is, no matter where you are in your business, you have got to start hanging out with people that are happy to see you succeed. The caliber of people that are really, and they have the open heart, willingness to share, willingness to collaborate, right? And there's not that many places where you're going to find that, right? There really isn't. Because people get so caught up, especially now, I need to make a sale. Like, it's not about making a sale. It's about building the relationship. I'd rather build a relationship that's going to net me 5, 10 clients than that one transaction, right? It's also the shift, right? So top talent, the reason I keep showing up and the reason I keep inviting people is because the caliber of people that you're going to meet there, and their willingness to share their resources, their experience. So you get to learn so much and you get to start building relationships.
Exactly.
And for David to do this for no cost, and you and I know, Furley, that people would be willing to pay for this. One, there's no cost, but the other thing that's just as equally important, there's no, and wait for it, no sales pitch.
I know, right?
Nobody's going to sit there and they're not going to get you to buy the $20,000 package and the $30,000. No, it's about, let's build relationships. Let's see what we have to offer. Let's have those conversations outside of the event. But also he has the structure where he gives you the opportunity. You go into a breakout room, and it's not that, and there's nothing wrong with this. I'm not saying there's anything, because I participate in, the 1 minute, 2 minute to stare. David has specific questions he wants you to answer because he wants you to know, what do we have in common aside from business? So connect with each other on a personal level first, and then figure out, can we do business together? And so I think that I've not seen anybody, I've not seen any to this degree do that like David does.
Exactly. I mean, people have to experience what we have seen, because he is so giving, so generous. Not only with the education and the training that we're going to get there. It's not just you're going to show up there for networking. No, you would learn a lot on how to grow your business, whether it be publicity, how to write your book, resources, right? Like tons of resources free that he's giving away. And the best resources, of course, are people. The friendships that you will build in there is phenomenal. And just like what you said about this, are the quality of people that you meet there are those who are happy to see you succeed. Wow, that was actually very, very powerful, and I'm sure David would appreciate knowing now that you have said those words, because what a blessing. It is a priceless blessing, and you have to be invited to this, because we want to make sure that you have the right intention and the right value system to be a part of this group, right?
Absolutely.
And so you have been a huge supporter, inviting your friends, and even in it, aside from this beautiful networking group, we've been also in team referral, and again, another great group. It's wonderful when you see people like that just help one another. And you right now, you have given so much value with the training, and because you have put a different spin on our relationship with money, the money drama, the money journey, the money possibilities, and the money mapping. Now, okay, I'm sure so many people would love to speak with you, and I'm sure they're going to start writing their love letters to money.
To money. Yeah, rub your love letters to money.
I've never done a love letter to money, but I will do that. Like CHELLA said, okay, and I'm ready. Like within that 24, 48 hours, let the abundance come flowing my way. And so, if they would like to speak with you and figure out ways that you can work together, or like just explore ways that you can support each other, how can they reach you?
Definitely reach out to me on Facebook is the best way. Facebook, Instagram, and my website. They're all the same. CHELLA DIAZ, CHELLADIAZ.com. reach out. Let's have a conversation. You know, I'm always open to having those conversations and see, you know, what resources. Sometimes all you need is for somebody to look at your situation in a different way. And then you're like, oh, yeah, right. It's just getting you on the right path.
Now, do you work only on a privately, one-on-one, or do you also have group coaching programs?
You're a very good question. Yes, I do have a one-on-one, and I also have a group. For the group, one-on-one, men and women. The group is only for women. Sorry, guys, only women.
Oh, okay.
But the one-on-one, I'm always happy to talk to you, and that is men and women.
Do you talk differently about money to women?
No, but I find that when you put a couple of women together in one room, there is that we're all women, but also we have a similar story. Men's money drama is a little bit different. So
The major difference between the way men see money and women see money?
absolutely, because we were programmed differently, right? So it's a different. It's not good, bad. It's just a different, right? Everybody has a preference of what phone you use. Do you use an Android? Do you use an iPhone? Right? There's people that are really, you know, set on using the. I'm going to date myself. So you know, it's just different. It's just, yeah, the flip phones
or the brick ones. I've used both.
BlackBerry. The BlackBerry. I adore my BlackBerry.
Right?
It took forever for somebody to convince me to let go of my BlackBerry. I just adore it. I just did. So it's just different. It's a different conversation. And I want to create the safe space for women to say, this is what happened to me. This is what I feel about it. This is what I do. So having men in the same room, I have found takes that away. So that's why for having a deep conversation about money drama is just women only into that group program. But I'm always happy to talk to anybody.
Do you have anyone? Do you have any program for this women coming up very soon that you would like to share with the audience?
Yes, I'm going to be coming up starting September 6th. Put it on your calendar. I'm going to be doing a free 5-day challenge, helping you get your money journey.
Take it down. September 16.
6th.
Free. Oh,
6th. September 6th. 9/6.
Free doesn't get any better than that.
Let me help you get your money journey on track. And we're going to do lots of great stuff on that week. 5 days.
I'm actually like, I'm going to watch this recording again because I want to do that 7-day challenge where you said about you track everything that you're spending, the want and the need, because that's very powerful. I don't think anybody does that. As a matter of fact, I know a couple of couples who said that, you know, one person want to do a budget, the other person that's like, I will just work overtime. I will just just keep putting, but never really planning. And so, the fact that you are telling us to take a lot more control and have a respectful, loving relationship with money.
And for those couples that, I would encourage them to change the word. It's not a budget, because that budget sounds restricted. Say, honey, let's sit down and create a spending plan.
Okay. That sounds a little bit more enticing. It's a sexier way to say, oh, we are going to have a spending plan, right? Because yes, budget is like, budget has an undertone of like, you are only limited to spending this kind of
No, let's create a spending plan. And it's how we are choosing to spend our money. And it's just a choice.
I love that reframing. It's really very, very empowering. So any last words that you'd like to share with the audience?
Reach out to me, men, women, reach out to me. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. I'll be delighted to answer. Share any of my resources, share any of my favorite books that have helped me along the way.
What's your favorite book that you would like people to read?
You know what? I keep going back to it. There's actually 2. The Teachings of Florence Scovel Shinn, and The Power of the Subconscious. And these are free on the YouTube Just go to YouTube. It's free. And the power of the subconscious mind.
Wow. Well, we have to put that in the chat because I'm sure so many people would love to hear that. And of course, if you want to be invited to the Top Talent JV event next week, August 16th to the 18th, reach out to Chella or me. And if you're the right fit, we will love to be able to share with you an invitation. So, because we want to put together the people who get it, who have that right vision of helping one another, right? That's what JV
Beautiful.
about. Oh my goodness. I feel like I was so blessed already. All right. Let the
Let
money come. Remember to write your love letter to money. All right. And make sure that you have a respectful relationship. So pick that penny, pick up that nickel. And okay, you don't have to go so crazy and putting it in different little coin purses.
Yeah, no, don't. Yeah, this is nuts. But it for me, it works for me. It works for me, it's right. So you don't have to do all of that. But
I think like having one for just quarters is actually like really sensible because oftentimes there are like toll plazas that you have to just throw. They only accept quarters or something, and right. So
absolutely.
Oh, by the way, even in the bank now, they do you know that they won't accept it unless you go there and it's already rolled. In our bank, at least,
No.
because it used to be like this is a whole different topic. But anyway, we're just talking here because it used to be before that you could go to a money machine and it would sort it out, right? And then it would just give you a total, and they give you they take out a little percentage. But I think there was a bank that was basically shortchanging people. And
Oh.
so they took that away, and so now when you have to deposit your coins, they have to be rolled, at least in the bank where I go. So I don't know if all banks are like that, but but it's not really like very convenient to count the rolls and all that, and you have to get that paper thingy,
Yeah.
the
Well,
paper.
let us share really a saving tip. So you know how you see those coin machines at the grocery stores? Most of the
Mhm,
grocery stores have it.
mhm.
And you do need to pay a fee if you're going to get a cash or right. However, if you purchase a gift card, there is no fee.
Okay, that's a great tip. That's a great tip because you're going to spend the money on food anyway. So you might as well get rid of all the coins that you're because it's getting too heavy. I'm sure as women we have like this. Why is my purse so heavy? So anyway, you carry all of that. Now you can actually utilize that to buy your groceries, and you can use it for a gift card. So what a great tip! Look at all of the things that you learn from all of these people that we have on the show. It's not all about like money relationships and all that. These
Nope.
are very sensible money tips as well on how to live your life in a very clever way. So anyway, Chella, one last word, last tip.
Let's do it. Reach out to me. Let us see how I can be of service.
Okay,
And I look
beautiful.
forward to see you next week at Top Talent.
Yes, we're looking forward to seeing you. Top Talent JV event, August 16th to 18th. It's going to be 3 days. You don't have to attend the 3 days if that does not work with your schedule, but there is so much value that you're going to get both in education and connection. So until next time, this is Furley Almonte from Faces of Resilience on behalf of Top Talent JV. And we thank you, Chella, for being the magnificent money guru that you are. All right, take care now. Time to write my love letter. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.